How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a stream where we tried to fix some QSC K12 power amplifier. Welcome to a random live stream. How's it going, everybody? I hope you guys have a great weekend. Welcome to a totally random live stream where we're gonna try, and I don't promise anything, we're gonna try to fix not one, not two, but three QSC power amp. Those are the K12 first edition QSC power amp, and they all have pretty much the same problem. When you connect power to it, nothing happened. They don't power up. There is no significant sign, as far as I know, of why they would not power up, but they just don't. Let me see what's going on here with Twitch. For some reason, Twitch doesn't seem to be on. Let me start that up, guys. Want to make sure that we're live on Twitch. Will be fun to be live with you guys over there. Nope, doesn't want to. Okay. Well, follow us on YouTube there. I don't want to spend too much time on why this is not working on Twitch. We're just gonna move on to this camera view right here, and we're just gonna dive into this. Those random live stream are just me winging out something when I'm working on techie stuff that I believe would be interesting for you guys. I just turn on the camera and we're trying to have fun together, basically. So, camera view as switch. We're gonna have this right here. This one is already pre-open, so I can save a little bit of time on the stream. Just let me get sure that we are live on YouTube, because sometimes I'm getting trouble with my stream. Let me just make sure that we're live on YouTube. Hey, what's up, Charlie? For some reason I don't see the chat on my prompter. We're gonna try to fix that, you know. Just a regular oh, come on, select live source. There you go. Hey, Charlie, you there? If you there, say something. Always cool to have you around, man. Yes, you there. Alright, I can see the chat now, so we can move on and we can make sure that I see you guys comment. So if it's your first time on the channel, okay, hold on. Let me backtrack this a little bit. If it's your first time on the channel, hi, my name is Guillaume. I'm a live sound engineer that loves to talk about anything that has to do with the world of live production, anything that I have to deal with on my day-to-day. When it comes to live sound, this is what I pretty much do in my life, doing live sound. I've been mixing band for the last pretty much 20 years, a little over that. I'm about to say 25, more than 20 now. And yeah, if I find something that I believe will be interesting for you guys to watch, we just do it together. We fix things, we work on some stuff. I also have a show every Monday where I talk about more sound-oriented stuff with the community every Monday. So if you guys never been into those live stream, make sure to subscribe to the channel, ring the bell so you don't miss any of my stream. So alright, let's open that thing up. Just to put you in context, this is the power amplifier that is in the back of a QSC K12, the older version, the QSC K12 2.2 or 0.2. We're just gonna open it up. I've already taken out the screws because there are so many, but if we can fix that one up, we're gonna dive into the other two right there. So it might not be pretty, but it's gonna be, well, I'm gonna try to make that educational. The first thing that we need to do to open this power amp up is open up, unplug that connector, open it up, unplug that connector over there in the bottom. And it's been a while, so I'm gonna try my best not to break it live on stream. This one doesn't seem to have any kind of glue, and I'm looking for any kind of clips on it. It's really hard to show you and not filming the back of my head, but I'm gonna try. Hold on. We're gonna have a good time with this thing. Come on. You know. So, while we're here, we're gonna have a good time together. Hey, Charlie, how's your weekend? Any shows or anything? You getting ready for tomorrow? A lot of people here are wing user in church, so I'm gonna assume that some of you guys are working tomorrow, or I'm gonna do some beautiful live mixing tomorrow. I'm gonna be doing some streaming tomorrow, or recording at a studio for a stream at least. And for the life of me, I cannot get that freaking connector out. You'll be playing guitar? It's good, man. Playing guitar is fun. Actually, funny enough, I was out having breakfast with a friend, and I spoke how much I don't play guitar anymore, and I kind of miss it. I just don't have any goal at the moment playing guitar. I'm working a lot as a sound engineer. I'm working a lot with bands, and with the pandemic, I pretty much put the guitar down, started the YouTube channel, and I don't have any reasons to play. Not right now. It's probably not going to be like that forever. But at the moment, nope, nothing. Okay, this is giving me a hard time, so I'm going to try to make some space. Let me show you guys what I'm doing. Here, in the back of the board, we have a zip tie. I'm going to try to cut that one open, just to give me some room and see what's going on here. The problem is pretty much on the power section, which is the board under. So I don't think I need to play too much with this board right there. This is mostly going to be stuff on the other side. You know, this part of the board where it's only the control for the circuit board. That's good. That part is really good. Alright, now that I have a little bit more space, can I see how to remove that freaking connector here? Well, the good news is, those of you who own these boxes, it's never going to release by itself, because even if I'm pushing on it, it's stuck in there for real. It's stuck in there good. Or maybe there's some clever trick that I just don't know how to do. Well, alright, let me get rid of some more stuff before we dive any further. This. Alright. So we have the heart right there of the stuff that we want to check out. I did some research online, and there's a couple things here. Actually, I could pull out the board. It's probably going to be easier for me to just remove the circuit board from the rack. Anyway, if I need to work or to do any kind of work on it, I'm going to have to access the other side. So we're just going to remove all the screws that are there. I know my drill bit is a little too long, but I prefer to have a longer drill bit than a too short one. So there is a couple of screws holding that board down. I only need a Phillips head to access these, as far as I know. So nothing fancy, no Apple style Torx screw or uncommon type of screw in here. There seems to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of those. So we're gonna go around and remove those. They seem to be all the same, so should be good here. We're just gonna remove those. I know it's not the most interesting stuff to watch, but I hope I can find a solution for you guys at the end of the day. It's not, you know, streaming repair videos is kind of a niche market anyway. So I'm not expecting, to be honest, you guys to watch the whole thing, but I hope that if you stick around long enough, we can figure out what is wrong with this amplifier. I hope we can replicate the problem or replicate the solution on other amp and not throw these boxes away, because those are not bad speaker, to be honest. The QSC K12 stuff is good. This is not the new series, of course. I'm working a little more now with the LA stuff. LA 112, LA 108, and LS subs, which are really cool systems. QSC really upped their game with that stuff. This one is not, you know, as flat from the factory, but it's a really good speaker. Like monitor wise, I've done big show with way worse than this in my life, and I got through it. Okay, so there's a couple more screw down on the bottom. There's two more. And actually, I've looked at Google, and I've done a little bit of research on what could be the cause that we're having, or what could be the cause of the speaker just not powering up. And I think I found a video of a guy checking out the transformer that is right there, the yellow part. Those of you who don't know what transformer is. And it seemed to be problematic from time to time. So, alright, can I lift the board? No, there's another screw there. Man, those things are not moving. And I'm probably gonna find another one somewhere along the way. Is it moving? No, it's not. Did I miss anything? Did I miss any screws? Yes, I did. I don't know how many screws are in that board. I can tell you right away, or in a minute. There's a lot of screw on my table here, just right there. Okay, I think we're missing one or two. That part of the board seems to be out. I think we have some. We will get some luck if we're doing these. I don't know what that part is. It's a retainer of some sort. Probably retaining the board down. We gotta make sure that we replace those. Okay. We gotta make sure that we put those back tight against the board. And we should have a now completely free board with some thermal paste in the bottom, so be careful. All the white spot there is thermal goo. You don't want to put your finger in that. And the thing to look for to not electrocute yourself is this capacitor. The pin in the back is where the danger zone is. I think I should be good with this one because, hold on, let me clear out some space. It's been unplugged for a couple of years, but just for fun, we gotta take the multimeter out here and we gotta measure voltage. Hold on, let me reset that thing. Do we still have power on these things, on these leads? If I touch, no power, no power, in between the two, no power. So, okay, I'm not gonna take for granted that these are safe, but it should be pretty safe. Okay, what I believe is the problem, and it doesn't seem to be the case here, is apparently next to the transformer, so next to these pin here, those are the pin of the transformer. I can probably bring you guys along or in a little bit to show you guys what I'm talking about. These pin right there are what is usually shorting or breaking off the board on some power amp, because the transformer is heavy. If you hit the box, if you drop it on on the floor when it's hot, you may break these pin out. The transformer will basically rip itself out of the board. From what I can tell here, and I'm gonna, sorry for my big head in front of the camera lens here, I don't think there is any issue with that. So the next step is to do something a little dangerous. I'm not gonna say not dangerous, I'm gonna say a little dangerous. And we're gonna inject power into that speaker. I'm just gonna reconnect the power switch here, because I've made sure to test out the power switch with a continuity test. Meaning I took my tester here, made sure that I get connectivity, flip the switch. The switch is good. I can measure the switch, I know it's good. What's up, Ivan? Good to see you, man. You ready to have a good time with us? We're just watching from a gig. I hope you never have to do this on a gig. All right, so we're gonna plug back power here. By the way, the other board here is pretty much safe to touch. This is just DSP stuff, so no high power, just basically electronics. Okay, we're gonna flip that around. I want to make sure that the surface here is non-conductive, and be aware, guys, this is for fun, okay? I don't want you to electrocute yourself. If you want to do those kind of repair at home, make sure that first you know what you're doing. If you have a basic course in electronic, you should be good, but you want to know where not to touch. And basically, when it's plugged in, this is the whole board. You don't want to touch that. And if you want to plug it in like I'm gonna do, you want to make sure that you do that on a surface that is conductivity free, so you don't electrocute yourself. And I'm gonna try not to die on this stream. Probably lower chance to die on this stream. Okay, so I'm gonna plug in the power. The switch is off, and I'm gonna plug that in, and I'm gonna try to measure this thing as soon as I turn it on. Finger away, you only touch with the leads. Plastic, isolated, don't kill yourself. We're gonna power that thing on. We now injected power in the board. The DSP lights doesn't do anything, but I hear some crackling here. No magic smoke, it's a good news. And I want to make sure to avoid the board touching other stuff. All right. First thing that I'm looking for is going to be power. I'm going to switch my meter to be in power mode. I'm going to ground one of my lead, the black one, to the chassis here, and I'm going to hunt for power. The first place that I should get power is one of these two. Hold on, let me move that out of the way, or in the field of view. The first place that I should get power is one of these two leads here, because they are basically connected from the switch to the board. So do I have power here? Hold on. I do have 98 volt. And on the other side, 98 volt. That would be really low, but not impossible. Okay. That's gonna be the lower plate, but I'm connected to ground, so it's not, maybe not the best. 100. Okay. Voltage to ground seems to be fine. Where is the other lead? If I look at it, all right. Here, where my red probe is touching, is the power. I'm gonna use my lead here and I'm gonna try to get a reading. Okay, now I'm getting 123 volt here between the two leads. I'm getting 98 versus the ground, or actually I'm gonna do it the other way around. Ground versus this one, nothing, so that's the neutral. That's the 120. Because I'm in North America, I have 120, 60 hertz signal, and that's good. So, okay, I get power into that board. So this thing is dangerous. Do I get power in between capacitors now? If I'm moving everything that is metal, like my pliers, out of the way, I'm gonna move the board a little forward for you guys. Do I have connectivity in between the capacitor? Do I have any kind of power? No, I don't. Maybe something. Maybe in between these two. Okay. I don't think I have power to the board. Which means I have power here at the input, and I don't have power here on the side where it's converted to DC for the power amp. So I'm gonna check out that transformer here. I'm gonna measure it to ground if I can get any input. Okay, I do have a little bit of power here. Hold on, let me put the meter so you guys can see it. Okay, so those are just a little bit of voltage in the air or residual to ground. If I'm touching here, I'm getting 100. If I'm touching here, 7 volt, 7 volt. Okay, let me go check against the other part of the circuit at the bottom here. Do I find any other voltage here? 7 volt, 6 volt. I should get higher power than that here. Oh, okay. I have 100 on this lead, which is the other side of that transformer. So that means that, or that capacitor or inductor. No, it's an inductor. So I have power here on that side of the inductor. Do I have power here? Yes, I do. That's next to the lead, so that means that this part of the circuit board is good. Do I have power on that side? No, I don't. Do I have power on that side? No, I don't. Do I have power on this lead? 100. On this side, I don't. On this one here, 4 volt, 4 volt, 4 volt, 4 volt. So that's telling me that this inductor is not providing, is not giving any power. Because if I'm getting 100 volt here and here, that means that they are fed, but the other side, the output that is on the other side, has nothing. So I'm gonna shut down the power. I should have almost 0 power. 5 volt. 5 volt. Let me go back to the capacitor. Do I have any power in the capacitor? No, I don't. No, I don't. Okay. So I'm gonna assume that this board is safe to look at now. I'm gonna remove the power from it. And we're gonna take a look around. It should be safe to work with now, because I don't have any power here. I don't have any power here. It should be discharged now. Okay, let's flip this over. I'm gonna be careful. All right. Let's take a look. This. Oh, actually, hold on. There's a fuse there. We can change the meter to be in continuity mode. We're just gonna check the fuse quickly. Fuse is good. I'm gonna remove the lead from the board, and this board is disconnected. Now we can take a look at what's going on here. That transformer here, the solder joint looks fine, but I don't think we even have power all the way through there. I think one of those inductor is no good. We're gonna go in continuity mode like we are right now with that signal, and we're gonna hunt down for that. Here we know we have continuity on this part of the board. Sorry, I'm flipping it around. This corner is where the one that used to be on the other side before. So we're gonna hunt down on that board, and we should have continuity. So every time we hear that little noise, it should be good. So from here to here is good, to here is good, to here it's not good. I'm gonna go again with the other side. We do have continuity from the neutral to here, to here, to here. No continuity here, no continuity in between these two. So all right, we're gonna find where we get signal lost. Okay, this pin right here. Let me take a look at this. What's on the other side? This beautiful thing right here. What is this? We're gonna undo the goo and we'll check it out. Ceramic capacitor. Oh, come on. Thank you, QSC, for putting a really good goo on your component. It's really fun until you want to repair them. What is this part here? R140, I'm gonna guess it's a resistor. And judging by the loose that I have on the component here, I'm gonna say it's probably broken. So you know what? Let me take it out quickly. I have the soldering iron here, hot and ready. Put any kind of joke that you want there. And we're just gonna try to remove that capacitor or that condenser here. We're gonna add a little bit of a lead-free solder joint on that. And we're gonna use a solder sucker to get all that stuff out. Yes. That's gonna help us clean out that part. And I can probably just remove it, because my guess is this is the part that's giving me trouble right now. If I'm heating it up a little bit. I don't know if it's glued in correctly or, yeah, it was just glued in. All right. What's going on here? Let's see what we will uncover under that goop. I would really wish for a part number or... Oh, okay. Well, this leg here seems to be broken. Let me check it out. Yeah, this leg here seems to be broken. So for us to remember, hold on. I don't know how well you guys can see this. The yellow sleeve here is on this side of the board. So let me check this out. We're gonna remove the goo. We're gonna remove that goo. And we will see what we got under here. But my guess is, I believe this is a ceramic capacitor. I'm not that good in electronic, by the way. I'm just like I have good logic deduction when it comes to that stuff because I have a little bit of background in electronics. Yeah, I'm not gonna spend hours looking at this. Okay, let me get my little yellow sleeve here back on. And I'm gonna take the tester out. And we're gonna see if we can get continuity. I believe you can still have continuity on a capacitor. Okay, I think I found the problem. I think that capacitor leg was broken. Poor little capacitor with a broken leg. I'm gonna try to eat that part again. This is the part where I have a broken solder leg here. I'm gonna try to eat that out, get the solder sucker in, and remove everything in that hole. And I believe this one doesn't have any polarity, but I'm gonna try to short that leg a little bit, the one that is longer than the other, really quickly. And I'm gonna try to insert that back in the board and solder it back on, and I believe this thing's gonna work right away. If I can get it right. Oh yeah, I have enough space to work with that thing here. Hold on. Can I get you in there? I'm just trying to suck that back in. All right. So the legs are loud and proud there. It's really hard to see on a flat surface, but here you can see them poke through. I'm just gonna try to solder back that thing here with known solid good contact. And I'm gonna check that again. We're gonna flip it over, putting some goop everywhere because I didn't know, but I have goop everywhere. Oh, come on. Okay, we're gonna do it this way. Now the question is, actually, hold on. Okay. Do I remember which one is the positive, which one is the negative? I don't think I do. But I'm gonna judge by where the cables are going. They've been there for so long, and this one tends to go this way, and this one tends to go this way. I believe we'll be good to go. We're gonna move depth out of the way. We're gonna move this here. And we're gonna try to power that board again. For some reason, I believe that board's gonna work. You guys follow with me? What are my chances? We got a continuity break in the signal there, so I'm gonna guess it's a good 50-50. Let me make sure that this place is clean. I don't have to have anything in the way here. Let's try that board. Moment of truth. Power off, finger out of the way. All right. Flip the switch. Will we get the fan spin? Will we see the light, the power light? I believe so. Or will we see magic smoke live? Just so you guys can have a better view if it does or not. You will see the light here on the back if it power on. Oh! You know what blue light means? You guys know what blue lights mean? I always forget that they have a delay. Well, with that out of the way, I think we did fix one of these power amp. Yay! We got one. We gotta power that off. It does. We gotta power it back on. Next X, does it work under load? Definitely a good question, but because it was a broken leg on a ceramic capacitor, I'm gonna assume that that thing just got moved around and got hit. So for now, I'm gonna remove the power and we're gonna reassemble the amp. And honestly, I'm 99% sure that this thing's gonna work. Now we have to be really careful because there's a bunch of screw I don't want to end up with some loose screw. And of course, this thing now has been charged, so capacitor can deliver power. I'm gonna try to get some really good, better clipper and try to clip my solder joint away, or I can put a piece of tape on them because they stick a little further than the other one did. Actually, you know what? Let me look at this. Oh yeah, it's bordered to being a little too much. Okay, let me get, give me 1 second here. We gotta get some pair of cutters, and I'm gonna cut the leads off of that thing. I don't seem to have any cutters around here. Let me take a closer look. I should have get some electrical tape ready for that, because worst case scenario I can always put some electrical tape. And I think this is the way that we're gonna go, because this is sticking way further than I would like to. And I don't think the way that I fix the stuff, I don't think it's gonna like being that close, especially for 110 volt or 120 volt, being that close from the board. I mean, it's not touching, but it could definitely arc, and we don't want that at no cost. So hold on guys, let me go grab some electrical tape. We're gonna make sure that this is good. I'll be back in a second. Welcome to random live stream. Welcome to random live stream. This is what can happen here. I'll be back. All right. Sorry for the delay. Found some good old electrical tape. Color, of course, the color match the kind of job that we're doing. We're just gonna put that on here, carefully applying that. I don't want to touch that board too much because I know it's been charged, and you know the spot that you don't want to touch is the capacitor, but basically you don't want to touch anything. 2 layer of E-tape. push it down with something plastic, make sure it's gonna stick down to the board. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be better than what they had before. So slowly we're gonna reassemble that thing. So the board goes somehow like this, and slowly dropping it into place. Not the best viewing angle for you guys, I know, but I think I can get that thing in right there. All right. Power supply shield goes like this, and I have to make sure that this screw stay empty and the one in the corner there stay empty, but the other one have to be filled with a screw. Way too long drill bit. Here we go. Let's go with the retainer first. Let's go in the same order that we undo that thing. That retainer goes here. Lower down. Not too tight. I think the board is pretty much done with these. We're gonna make sure that all the screws are in, starting with the one from the next to the power supply. Straighten the chassis. Same for this thing here. It's good. I could just leave 2 screws and it should be fine. But we have so many of them. Why not use them all? It's pretty much the thinking that QSC had when they build these things. We have all the screws in the world. Why not use all the screws in the world? Those are going for the power supply. There's another one right there. Yeah, not the best viewing angle for you guys. Hold on, let me bring you guys back in. Hi there. Yeah, you saw some people do some screwing before. And I'm not talking about screwing up, because I did my fair share of screwing up in my life. That's what probably led me to have a YouTube channel, right? Okay, what else? This one here. I should end up at some point with 4 screws. So there's 3 more that I need to find where they go on the board before putting the power supply shield back on. Okay, is this one? Is that? No, that's not one. There's so many. Okay, there's one here. So many screws, man. I still have 2. I just don't know where to put them. And that's gonna be for this. This is gonna be for this. That's gonna be the part that's giving me trouble. I need to find where these 2 screws goes. Because these 4 are for the power supply. Where do those 4 goes? I don't want to rewatch the tape and do it, because I could always rewatch the tape and figure out where that would be. But let me look again. Okay, these 2, okay, I got it. These 2 goes in the corner, the bottom corner of the board, and the power supplies goes over it. And this, and way too many screw later. That thing's not going anywhere. Power supply shield for protection. Or protection. We're gonna get there. You guys see this real time. And make sure to tighten down those screws because you don't want them to come loose inside the box because definitely they can screw something up. Pun intended. This right here, we're gonna move that out of the way. Flip that thing around. 2 more screws. And what should we do? Should I go get a speaker and try it out? I think it's gonna be good. But see, that's the problem with fixing those things. 5 seconds with a soldering iron, an hour of screw and tear down. This is probably not worth it for a lot of repair shop to do these kind of thing. Or actually maybe, because a speaker like that is right around $500 to $600, maybe 400 US. You could probably fix it for less than what it worth. But would you spend 150 bucks on an old speaker? Or would you, would you take the chance of spending 150 bucks on an old speaker? Or would you do, like, just get a new one? I don't agree with getting a new one, but I don't know. Okay, random live stream. Let me go grab a speaker. We gotta try some music here. And a lot of dust. Yeah, we'll be back. We're gonna do a load test. All right. Sorry for the viewing angle. Not the best, but I'm just gonna drop that thing in. One connector to connect the speakers. Speaker, I mean the driver. We're gonna connect the driver. We're gonna put that thing here. Put it on the bench like so. You guys can see me do this. What should we grab, a 58? Just gonna grab a 58 and do this. XLR. If you guys want to try out another mic, actually let's go with my weirdo 58. This is a SM58 with a Beta 57 capsule. We got to give that a good tight in connection in port A. We got to grab some power. And we should be good to go. It should power back up. Gain down. Make sure the gains are down. Should power back up right now. Always a delay with QSC. Yeah. Limiter go on standby. And that's good. That's good, 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 good. We get signal. We get the signal light. Hey, 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 hey. I don't get a lot of signal because it's in line, but if I put it in mic mode, which is going to be 20 dB more, I should get some really cool speaker. It's going to be disgustingly loud for you guys. But I'm gonna try to clip that thing. Actually, I'm about the feedback. Yeah, 1, 2, check, 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 check. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's not sounding good for me either. We'll go with external sub. That's a low cut. Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, to me, it's a win. It's a big, big win. This thing firing up again. All right. We're gonna get that out of the way. I'm gonna get that power amp out of the way. Let's do some really quick drill action here. I'm gonna move my meter out of the way. Beautiful electrical tape. And we're just gonna transplant screws from one power amp to the other. That way we can at least protect the job that we just did. Just gonna do some screwing here quickly. Is the fan turning on or trying to turn? Only when it's under load. This is why the fan is spinning, but that's normal. If it's not doing anything, it's not eating up enough, and I cannot eat the speaker. I would need to send a pink noise to make it work, but it should be working. Should be working properly. Usually they don't spin on QSCs or those speakers, from experience. I could be wrong. Maybe all the ones that I tried were broken. So QSC K12, good speaker. A little bit of screw if you want to fix them, but overall, good speakers. Oh, that drill is loud. Is it too loud? Is the drill like ripping off your speakers, guys? Or it's so compressed? Because I kind of have a broadcast chain in OBS where I do a little bit of EQ, a couple step up compression, and I do some limiting, so it should be fairly even for you guys. All right, almost there. That one is considered done. Let me get the speaker out. We're gonna unplug that connector here in the bottom. It's just basically it's a quick connector for all the driver in there. It looks like a power supply, computer power supply plug. It looks like a 12 pin, big huge 12 pin power supply plug, and it's just allow you to freely take the amp off. This one is fixed. We're gonna move the box out of the way. It's still a 12-inch in there. Those 12 inches are big. We're talking about speaker size here. And we're gonna dive into the next one. And we're probably gonna go straight to the same problem, because all three speakers have the same problem as far as I know. Can I remove the white connector from there? No, but I can. Now I know that I can remove that. I can remove this. Hold on. Let me try to remove that connector. Is it going this way? Is it going this way? Ah, damn it, you QSC. Why did you make Those connectors are so small, it's so hard to take off. Those, let's be honest and say those things were never made to be fixed. They were made to be just disposable, right? I love QSC as a brand, but it's just those little things that, you know, it could be a little easier. Is it screwed down? Is it glued down? Is it not glued down? I just don't. Maybe it's me. Maybe I just don't understand how to get those connectors out, and I'm stupid. If it took years to professional repair guys like Louis Rossman to understand how those things work, I'm not gonna be ashamed of not knowing how one of those things work. There we go. That was the power supply lead off. I'm just gonna take a closer look again at the one. I would like to get rid of this part so I could get some free space to work here, but I don't understand how that connector is holding onto the board. Maybe I just... whatever. Let's start. We're gonna try to do this one a little faster. Let's go here. We're gonna go straight to that connector, that plug. We'll see if it's loose or seems to be loose like the other one. We're gonna know right away. That's the problem, right? There's something that I don't like already in here. There seems to be some kind of tape next to the power supply. So that means somebody was probably in there before me. And that's never a good sign. Let me take that power supply grill off. Okay, what do we have here? Okay. That's definitely been repaired. Like, no question that thing's been repaired or taped down. Wow. Okay, well, seems to be attached. We're gonna take a look at that capacitor that I removed on the other one and say that this one honestly seems to be so much tighter than the other one. I don't think that's the problem. The fuse there was not fully touching, so we're gonna take a look at that again. Firing up the meter. Make sure to put that in continuity mode. Yes, sir. So do we have a fuse? Yes. Okay, that's not the problem. Do we need to take all the screws off and see what's going on here? Maybe. I'm gonna try to see what's wrong here. I'm gonna try to probe here. Okay, so I don't think we have 120 volt there either. Same as the other one, but probably a different problem. Let's crack this thing open. Remove a billion screw. Just gonna put that tape back to where it is and hopefully not breaking anything else. I'm gonna remove that. I'm gonna remove everything. What's the issue with the unit, Nick? It's not powering on. I have 3 QSC here. No power. The first one was easy. It was a ceramic capacitor that was ripped off the board, was broken. One of the leads broke down, so we soldered it back on, fire up. Works, seems to work fine. I'm gonna need to test it out, but seems to work fine. This one, I don't know, but this one was played with. Somebody had fun in here before me, so maybe there's something else with this one. Just gonna remove all the screws. There's probably like 15, to be honest. A lot of screws. Just gonna remove all the screws, and we gonna take a deeper dive. We got our trusty. We have our continuity meter, AC meter. My beautiful Klein tool unit. Someone years ago told me, do you want to buy your first and last tester? And I said yes. And I have this thing probably for 20 years, because I remember buying it a long time ago. And it's still in good shape, it still look good, it still work. Awesome. All it needs is a few battery from time to time. Buy one, cry once, exactly. I remember paying back in the day $150 for like that tester. But seriously, it's been reliable, it's been good. I can not see a screw here. Hold on. Okay. That's the one I'm missing. Yeah. Bought it once. It's gonna be good. It's gonna last me years. That thing can probably work even when I'll be gone. Because you will always need continuity test, and you will need to test AC all the time. So nothing new here. What's that thing here? That's just a resistor. Okay. I was not expecting to see a resistor on that side of the board, but alright, so we're gonna go into the same way that we did for the other one. We're gonna just dive in. We're gonna start testing from the power side in continuity mode and see if we have continuity everywhere. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, these 2 points there, that's the part that was broken on the other one, so it's not gonna be the same thing. Okay, so this one not touching. Good, good, good. Let's go with the other lead. This one's not doing anything. This one does, so everything here should, as this one does. Okay. And we have power here. Do we get anything else? Do we have any physical sign of something going wrong with that unit? No, 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 no. Do we have power? Capacitor, they're showing something. Do we have power if I change that? Do we have power on those caps? No, we don't have any kind of power on those capacitors. And that meter is going to be way more fun for you guys if it's on the screen. So I'm in power mode. So nothing, nothing, nothing. Okay, let's dive. I should have at least one of these points making some kind of contact with these unit. Okay, these two, these. I'm just checking the trace, basically. I'm just making sure that this is good and this is touching where it should be touching and not touching where it's not. trace is good, that trace is good, that trace is good, that trace is good. Okay. I know these were left in a container for a while. I'm sorry, Nick. I was not paying attention to the chat. Switch mode. Yeah, switch mode, power supply, fun. Start with the rectifier bridge and then go stream. Yeah. I don't have a component tester. I only have a power and continuity tester. Transistor. Yeah, the diodes sometimes fail. I don't have a with the test diode. So, the first thing I'm doing is see if we have continuity. So far, I saved one speaker. To me, it's a win. It was worth it to open these up. Let's see what's going on with these things. I should have this, and this one. Okay. Let me look at the board here. This one has a rough life, you know, it's a little bit of corrosion on there, but nothing that I would worry about too much. But it's been living on the boat, and it's gonna go back living on the boat. So even if I clean it up, like, no miracle to be made. And especially with that thing like hanging like this. And do I miss one, or no, it was just taped there, glued down there. You know, it could have been the problem. Should I have continuity in these two? I think I should, right? That thing is shot. Well, it has seen better day. Okay, that seemed to work. This one is fully encapsulated. Can I poke through it and get some signal? Nick, you seem to have some kind of knowledge in electronic. I don't know if an inductor like that should have continuity. Actually, I can know that by checking on the other side. These two, I believe if I short these, I have continuity. Now, if I look at these, if I touch here and here, I do get continuity. So this one is good. This one is good. If I touch that, so it's working. At least it's giving power. Are the big caps with the black top, they bunching up? No, the cap seems to be good. I know what a broken cap is. They have a little bow, but nothing too crazy, or nothing that would indicate that they are bad. The other one don't have any bulb top, because if a capacitor is either leaking brown or has a bump in the top, it's usually gone. So this one seems fine. That transformer, like I said, what I believe would be the problem, seems to be fine too. So I don't know with this one. I'm gonna put that back where that is. Oh man, I can't believe that. Yep, it's a DIY. Somebody did a DIY repair there. He kind of know what he was doing, but somebody did some DIY stuff there. Okay. I don't know if I have any more. I don't know if I have the knowledge to dive any deeper into that one, other than maybe try it out and see if it fry or not. I can get this going and try to trace if I have power all the way to the DSP. Yeah, it's gonna be hard to dig in. For fun, okay? I want to make sure that there's nothing touching under here. I'm gonna try to power it up and just see if it power up, and if it does, if I move stuff around, do I lose power? Because it was like declared dead. It was not showing up any sign of life. Let's see. I'm gonna plug that in. No magic smoke. Yeah, I'm gonna try to read DC voltage out of it. Fire in the hole. Gonna wait a few seconds. This is a QSC after all. And this one just fire up. And the fan went in and out. Okay, well, I don't know what was wrong with this one. Hello? I heard some maybe tape going on. Let me poke that thing around. Is the power going out? Okay, I guess it was a false dead zombie speaker. We're gonna try to put it back together and see what's going on. All right. Did I get that wrong? Yes, I did. Wrong side. Maybe this one's not going to work under load, to go along with what Charlie was saying. Let's see. I'm going to try to rebuild that thing and see if it fires back up. Probably will. But the thing is, and the reason why I'm not afraid of sending that thing out in the field, this is not really used for band shows. This is used for like entertainment kind of event. Hold on, let me get that screwed in. This is used by one of my friends who's doing commercial boat stuff. You know, you go for a dinner, you have a DJ. This is the kind of stuff that he's doing with those speakers. So it's not like it's your only 2-speaker on a show, or it's a musician monitor. It could be, but there will be other speaker on site. So if I declare that thing good and I send it back out, I'm not gonna put anybody in trouble by, you know, giving that as a monitor and not having any backup and having to play a set without any monitor. My friend is gonna have some more on site, is gonna have some more available, and that's not gonna be the only speaker on a boat. So, or a DJ can probably do a set without a monitor. Not ideal, to be honest, Definitely not ideal, but again, I'm no electronic expert. I just try out some stuff, and if it works, I save my friend a few $1,000s by not buying new QSCs. If it die again soon, and I'm gonna mark it up. I'm gonna mark it up and do not resuscitate. If he's having a bad time with it, I'm just gonna tell him to throw it away or throw the power amp away. The speaker is gonna be good, and just gonna find a new power amp for it, because there are some options available from QSC and from other seller, not sailor. Speaking of boat, no. Some other seller on eBay and other Chinese manufacturer offer a replacement module that fit in those speakers. If it's in the situation where it's not working anymore, yeah, it's just gonna get a new power amp and call it a day. I just tried to save my friend a few bucks. One more screw. The loose component looks like there is a common. Hold on. A lot of dust in those things. The loose components in there, it looks like it's a common mode. Hey, meat choke. I have to look at the schematic. Yeah, it's probably it's probably a choke or part of the rectifier. Well, I believe it's part of the rectifier circuit that transform DC to AC to DC in that thing. So it's already a jank repair, to be honest. So I don't think we will get that thing ever fixed again if it's keep on broken. I'm gonna try to push down on the power supply to make sure that this thing is not going out, but this one will have, you know, a red mark on it. Say if it's dying again, it's not worth fixing anymore, because just that component are loose from the board. It's already a sign of you should not be playing around with it anymore, or try to fix it. I think if it's been saved twice, it now deserve to have, you know, a good resting life in a recycle bin somewhere. Needs to rest in peace. And since I'm not a repair shop, I cannot like keep the board and use it as a donor board. If anybody, I'm gonna try it again. If it's not working and anybody want it as a donor board, as long as you pay shipping, I can ship it anywhere in the world. If you need a donor board, because I'm gonna believe everything else on the circuit is good. Like the back panel is probably good. The component on it probably worth saving if you have the same unit. Let's see what's going on here. All right. Let's put this thing back together. Is it gonna fire up? I want to try it out before putting it in the box. QSC, wait a few seconds. Firing back up again. Standby power. I think this one is good. We're gonna try it in the box. We're gonna try it under load, but again, I'm gonna mark it down. I'm gonna scratch the logo out of it, so at least we know it's this one. Yep. All right, take two. And the next one, trust me, I will try it before taking it apart. I know the connector is not fully inserted, but it should be good. Should be good to test. It's not like I'm gonna hear much of the horn anyway. So, all right, bar it back on. Wait a few seconds. QSC again. Limiter standby. We're gonna try that in mic mode. It should be good to go. We should have
a signal. Yes, we do.
Wes, you...
Oh, yeah, we do. Yeah. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 1, 2, check.
The volume knob is a little scratchy, but again, hey. That's good enough. I called it close enough for me. One more.
Yeah, 1, 2, 2.
I'm gonna try that in mic mode. Can I? No, okay, the second input can only be in line.
Yeah. Check 1, 2. I could jump between the two if I really want to get that going. But I think we're good. Yes, sir. Is that a good rubber mallet mode? No, it's good. It's good. Good enough to put back in the box. You know?
And it's gonna be marked down as maybe defective. I know because the logo's cross on it, so yeah, that works. That works fine. Maybe I'm gonna flip it right side up and it's not gonna work, but that's gonna be a story for another day. If it's dead, it's dead. If it's shaky, it's shaky. I don't want to take any risk with it. I'm not gonna glue back the board with this one. Let me just put a couple screw in it so the whole rack is gonna hold itself. The whole thing is gonna be better suited like this. There you go. One here and one next to the power. All you need is 2 screws. You don't need more than that. I've learned that from Louis Rossman. No, that's good. That power amp is considered good for now. Good with a maybe. Okay. Last one here. What happened if I do this? Gonna wait a few seconds. Is it powering on? This one does not power on. Okay, we're gonna take a look at that. What are you working on tonight, Nick? I'm not the only one. I'm not the only sound engineer in the whole country that is not working. Actually, no, we're not in the same country. You're in the United States of America. And I'm just a Canadian, hey? All right, let's put that on the bench. Mother's Day party. Oh, that's good. I should call my mother. Thank you very much for the reminder. Too much food. I'm gonna guess it was really good. And I should take my mom out for dinner. She just actually life information. My mother just turned 65 this year. Retirement. Official retirement, because she used to work at the Montreal Police as a not as an officer, but in in the office, and she retired 10 years ago. But in Canada, you get pension, you get money from the government because you work your whole life. So I should take her out. I should take her out to celebrate that she's 65, and I really like her, and I'm really glad that she's still with me. That's a reminder to go hug your mother if you didn't do that today. All right, we gotta get used to it. We kind of know our way around, right? Okay, so this one doesn't seem to have been played too much with. No tape, no. Oh god, that's some really nasty stuff in there. Maybe this one is fried. Definitely there was a spider nest at some point in here. We're gonna take that power off. We're gonna take that power off the board. And we're gonna start screwing stuff. Or removing screws, actually. One of the too many screws that there is in there. We're getting good at this. Whew. Yeah, definitely. I mean, these things were on a commercial boat for a while, so... What I mean, smaller boat, where you have maybe up to 50 people. 80, I think, is their bigger boat for a cruise. It's the kind of cruise you go and you hire a chef and you go for a lunch. You know, you have a really good dinner on a boat. And a DJ is going to play some stuff. Some ambient music. And sometimes if you take the party package, you're going to end up with a DJ spinning out some good hit. You're going to get down on the Saint Laurent River. Almost there. Only like 10 screws left. My mom is amazing. If I ever catch somebody say something bad about my mom, you're in trouble. Or you might get insta-ban. I'm not talking about banning it from Instagram. I'm talking about getting banned from this channel right away. Don't say anything against my mother. All right. Almost there. Only 20 screw left. Maybe 30 screw left. I don't know. Man. QSC know what they're doing. That's not gonna go anywhere. 2 retainers. Screw with the... Actually, QSC, if you ask me, is a really good brand of speaker. The LA112. Yes, I do. I rigged one up last week. The LA112 Mr. Sharp's lugs. One of the company that I work a lot with, they have the 112, the 108. They have 2 full stack of 112, which is the 6 per side. So they have 24 of the 112 and 12 of the 108 with matching subs. And I really like those PA, to be honest. QSC knocked one out of the park on that one. Oh, look at all that crap. Ugh. It's gonna be on my floor. Ugh. I'm gonna have to get the vacuum out. All right, let's see what's going on here. Capacitor, ceramic capacitor, like the first one that we had here is good, so that's not the problem. We're gonna start signal flow that thing. Starting with that side of the power. That's working. That's working. That's working. That's working. That's good. Here. Nothing here. Oh. It should, I believe, match these, right? Interesting. Sorry guys, I'm doing that totally out of the way. That's good. That's good. That's not good. Okay, so maybe it's gonna be just a trace on that one. So the unit you worked on before, that component, was a choke, and it was very possible that the varnish on the lead may have worn off from vibration. It could have been shorting, grounding out. Maybe. I don't think that's the issue. It's just been ripped out of the board because probably that box was dropped. I mean, during the summer, those boxes are carried around by a student, and I know for a fact that they like to drink a lot after the shift is over. So, you know, the last thing they do is playing around with those speakers, and at the end of the night, some of the, you know, the DJ or some busboy guy just put it on a boat. Oh yeah, because I forgot to mention the company that my friend worked with that has these. They have a private island. It's funny because it's in front of my house. They have a private island, and they do any kind of party there. They do wedding. They do Stanley Cup. Was there once. For those of you who don't know, the Stanley Cup is the trophy that you get when your team win the hockey season. When you have the best, when you're the best in the league, you win the Stanley Cup. So Stanley Cup parties there during the Formula One. There's all kind of like people like booking the island with boat access to go around because the F1 circuit is next to the St. Laurent, so you can pretty much go from the F1, jump on a boat, and go straight to the island for a private party. That kind of stuff. You know, it's a private island for party, wedding, whoever has money to buy it. And of course, there's a bar on there. There is a chef if you want to have some food made for yourself. As long as you have the money, pretty much is. It's a good place to spend money. So that's all I'm gonna say. So all right. Oh. Stupid me. Let's take a look at what's going on here. Do we have a fuse? Because I think that's the answer that we're looking for. Okay. Do we have a fuse? No, we don't. Burnt fuse. Let's try again, just for fun. Burnt fuse. Why do you ask me? Well, maybe because there was so much crap under it that it created a short. Okay, burnt fuse. What do we do? Do we try it with a screw? I should have checked that right away. Burnt fuse. It's probably not that hard to get. What do you mean, no? What do you mean, Nick? No. I can try it out with a screw. See if the magic's smoke coming out. I don't have any fuse right now. I don't have any with me. I can try it out with a screw. You just put a screw in there, and if the magic smoke doesn't come out, that was not your problem. Take one from the other. But I would have to unscrew it all over again. No. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. The thing is, if I try it out with a screw now with my house burned down, no, I'm good. Thank you, Nick, but I'm good. I don't want to try it out. Do I have anything? Do I have any fuse? Hold on, I think I have some fuse. Maybe not the right voltage, but I think I do have some fuse somewhere. If it's close enough, I can probably get away with it and try it. Do you wish it would support more than $6? Actually, yes, I do. We're talking about the LA112. Yes and no. Because, hold on, I can take a break here before I go get some fuse. Hold on. Hi, guys. Hi. The QSC, the LA112, is a great kit. The fact that they don't support more than 6 per side, those of you who don't know, they only support 6 per side, has to do with the rigging and also because of the angle. The way that the bucks are made, you cannot set them flat. You have to have 1.5 degree angle on the bucks. I would love to try 8, and if I'm in a situation where I believe 8 per side is 8 per side is needed, I can probably try it, make sure that no one's under it, and I'm pretty sure I'm not going to break the rigging. Like, that's not going to fall. It's not a supported configuration, but I'm pretty sure it's not going to fall. The way that this system is working is every single box has an infrared captor on the front of the grill, and it knows where it's in the line array, and it knows if there's a box at the top, and they know if there's a box at the bottom. And the kit actually knows if it's ground stack or not. Really cool. I really like that system. It sounds amazing for the price. It's expensive. We're talking about roughly $5,000 per box. It sounds really good. A little too good for QSC. They really outdone themselves with that one. It sounds amazing. Actually, all the new stuff. The K12.2, amazing. The CP8, the CP series sound amazing. I have a couple of those bucks myself that I just rent on event here and there. As a monitor, it's amazing. The 10-inch, the 8-inch with the horn is great for vocal. I thought it's around 2K. Well, actually, in Canada, it's probably more expensive than that. It's closer to street price, 5K Canadian. So convert that. So let me take a look. Can I see it on Sweetwater? QSC LA 112. If I have it from Sweetwater says 3,300. That's the price from the Sweetwater website. So that's going to be street price. If you're talking about dealer price, if you have an account, at QSC or whoever is dealing that, it's going to be a little less expensive than that. But it's a great PA, a little too good for the money. It's not cheap by any means, but it can fight with the big boy. It's sounding way too good for what it is. And I think to not compete too much in the market of L-Acoustic and D&B and other companies like that, the fact that that's in your $28.99 in euros, roughly the same thing. I mean, the price difference here is not much, and when you factor in having the bumper, having the rain kit, having all of that, it's a fairly expensive system. You don't buy that to put in your basement. Some people will. But the fact that it's so easy on power, you can pretty much fire up all 12 tops on a single outlet. Even in North America, I think it's 2 amp peak per speaker at 110. I would need to check the spec, I'm not sure about that. But I know for sure that you can run one side $6, 2 sub on a single 15 amp 110 outlet. It's crazy. The fact that it's so good, it's Dante compatible. I really love it. I'm using Dante a lot on it. Sounds amazing. You can have XLR backup. You have the software control for it. You can EQ it. You can. It's a really, really cool PA for the money. Will it pass Rider? I don't know. But I would say if you're looking to upgrade your venue, if you're looking to upgrade your spot, you can probably rig that kit and it's going to deliver. It's going to sound amazing. It's going to throw really far. If it's not throwing far enough, you can get maybe 4 112 and a couple 108 in the back. Amazing, amazing PA. Amazing, amazing. For the money. It's not a K3. It's not a acoustic K2. It's not the same price either. But I only have good things to say about that thing, to be honest. All right, let me go do a quick look around for fuse. I think I do have some of those in a drawer somewhere. Give me 1 second. I'll be back, guys. We're having fun here. In your life, I think you should have a little case like this where you carry a lot of cool stuff, like eventually a box that you're looking for to do yourself a tap tempo. So I'm gonna definitely keep that one around. And if I have something like electronic parts, like those are resistors, if I have resistors, they all go in that thing. And one day, when you need it, you look around and you go, hey, I have a 4K resistor. I have switch. If I need a switch, it's right there. I strongly suggest you to get this. And okay, that's the other part of that box. To do a push to talk or to do other stuff. I'm not as cool as Nick, who's built his own box, but you know, he built his own custom foot switch. But yeah, nope, not here. Actually, I should just get that box going to do the camera switch on the wing. The Avente, I heard the new one. Let me get that back in the drawer. Yeah, the GPIO. Definitely is GPIO. Now let me put that back in the drawer and we can talk about Avente. Or Aventus. No, Avente. It's Avente. It's not Aventus, it's Avente. I have some interesting thing to say about them.
All right, let's go. Let's go back here. Let's talk about Avente.
I think for now, I'm just gonna bag up all those parts and I'm gonna move on to another project that I want to do. That's the thing. That's the thing when doing project like that. You start something and you're like, oh, okay, I need a fuse. And I don't even know where that fuse is anymore. Because I'm probably gonna need it to figure out, okay, it's right there. Tomorrow I'm probably gonna figure out where I can find one of these locally. A 10 amp, 10 amp. I need to have a 10 F10AH. I'm gonna say for 10 amp, 250 V, so 250 volt. Gonna put that in my pocket. I'm gonna try to find another one like this tomorrow. We still have one electronic store left in Montreal, and I'm gonna try to go see these guys and see if they have anything useful in stock. Otherwise, I'm just gonna close. I'm gonna close the shop here a little bit because we're gonna move on to another project, and that one is gonna be involving these, and we're gonna talk about the beautiful people over at Avente. While doing that, that's gonna go back in the drawer. Okay. People at Avente, I know the rep. I know the rep guy is a friend of mine, and I was talking with him and the dev of the Avente stuff, and we talk about this new system. I like it a lot. The new line arrays are good from Avente, but one thing that surprised me a lot is their new small bucks. The Alt 328. I don't know if it's that one, but it's an amazing small box. You can put something stupid like 20 of those in line. Great small PA. Probably for people that are doing smaller gigs. They have boxes that are like 12 pound each, and they're self-powered. So for those of you who like to have PAs, you know, you're doing like one big show a year, and you need 5 to 10 separate kits for like DJ, wedding, jazz band, stuff like that. You know, the usual day-to-day stuff, but you need once in the year a lot of cool speakers, a lot of power on a single stage. The new smaller box from Avente looks good. It's not the greatest sounding PA, to be honest. You know, there's other option out there. It sounds good, and I like the footprint. You can have, like, I could literally put 12 or even 20 of those in the back of my car. I'm driving a smart car, by the way. I could put those in the back of my car. The subs, of course, are the 15 inches. They're big, but yeah, it's a cool kit. The all RC, your all RCFTT, very happy. Yeah, it's a good PA. I had the pleasure to see it, not really hear it, but I had the pleasure to see it multiple times every time that I go to AVL. Those of you who don't know, AVL is the supplier in North America for RCF. Funny enough, I think I can say that I was asked to be the rep for RCF. Like they had a job and they go like, hey, you know, Guillaume, you like the RCF stuff? And I was like, yes, I like the product. I think they really make some cool speaker, but I just didn't have time to do that. But AVL asked me, like, it's a flex. AVL asked me if I wanted to be rep for RCF, and I had to decline the offer. And I'm not the only one that they asked, by the way. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say like, oh, they wanted me. No. They asked me if I wanted to do that. The TT is discontinued. Yes, it's been replaced. The KX series. The KX series is not the old series of RCF? Or QSC? The KX series, I believe, is not the QSC stuff. The TT, I believe, is still there. Is there? Hold on. The new passive box. The new big passive box. I would need to talk to Eric about that. The new passive box, I believe, is in the TT series. The GTX? You sure? I've worked a lot with HDL. The HDL 20, 28, 50. They were popular here because they were affordable. But I think I'm mixing up kit because I believe the last one that I saw from RCF, the new one, was not the GTX. I believe it was the TT something. HDL 30. Yeah, no, they're okay, but the thing is, when I used to work a lot with the HDL 20, and that was a really good kit. Hold on, let me get rid of all that loose solder and gunk. I believe the HDL 20 was a really great kit and really popular option here in Quebec because it was small. We don't have the same budget, to be honest, as you guys in the States or other places in Europe, because I don't know if I've spoken with you guys particularly about that, but the fact that the Quebec scene is mostly only supporting French-speaking artists. Like there are some bands from Montreal that go on the international level, like Simple Plan, or I don't know who else is from Montreal, Celine Dion, if you want to go that route. But most of the market here is smaller kit, and pretty much the thing that makes a lot of sense is the HDL 20 or those smaller bucks. Everything else over that is costing too much for the kind of money that you can make on a festival. So plastic box have to be the norm here. X32 was a big win. The wing is getting more and more accepted, or people are curious about it. Every time that I show up somewhere now with a wing, they go, "Oh, okay, you got the wing. That's the new thing, right?" But it's a different. The wing totally kills, man. But that's the thing. Because the wing kills so much, it's gonna level this market to the wing. Like the X32 is M30, maybe the M32, because it was not so much price difference. But I cannot go and request on riders stuff like Digico. I cannot go on riders and request whatever, like Midas, like the HD. I would love to have an HD every show, but if I request that on a rider with the band, that's not gonna happen. There's only in Quebec, in that market, there's only 5 to 10 of those. Some venue were like, yeah, we're going Midas. Some other venue went Digico, like the big one, like the Quantum. But not, the kind of money that we can make with those shows, the amount of people attending those shows, doesn't make any sense, A lot of Midas stuff is more popular in Europe, like like you're saying, Nick, your buddy has rented is an HD96. Where did I put the mouse over? You rented his HD96 to Creator. Creator is, I believe, the metal band, right? 251 and 9680. 9680 is the converter to Dante, right? But yeah, I mean, those bands are, if I remember correctly, Creator is a band from Europe. Popular, Midas is still popular in Europe. You still see Pro 2s and Pro Series desk here and there. Honestly, I would not mind mixing on a Pro X if you give me that as an option. I'll take it anytime or any day of the week, but it's not that popular. Especially here, it's not that popular. Nowadays, it's X32 everywhere. Okay, the 9680 is the Snake port. So, one fiber optic in the console to 8 or 6. I think it's 8 to 8 AS50 port. We'll see what's going on with fiber. Yeah, but it basically converts Snake port to AS50. So, HyperMac, SuperMac conversion. HyperMac is the bigger one. Fiber and SuperMac is what we call AS50. Your buddy converted his 96 to single mode fiber. You will have to explain me this, because I know what fiber optic is. I kind of know how it works on a network, but I'm not an expert in that. I know it's a matter of like swapping the cable inside, because basically, do I have a fiber connector somewhere around here? No, I don't. I have some in the drawer somewhere. The way they connect to each other, a fiber port the size of an XLR has 4 lines in it. 1 to send, 1 to receive, and depending on the type of fiber that you have, it's not all populated. So you have, like, basically, it's A, B, C, D. You will have A, C, or B and D, or A, B, or C, D. It's different kind of having different kind of protocol, but it's basically you need two fiber to get a signal going. Okay, you swap the converter, so it's basically the SFP port inside, and you swap the converter to optical. For those of you who don't know, the SFP is the part that you would connect. Basically, it's a small PC board that convert to light signal or laser signal traveling inside the wire. I don't know much about fiber, but I know that. So, okay, you just have to swap the converter. Yeah, I heard that you just have to change it. I don't remember who, but I was working on a trade show, or walking on a trade show, and I heard some guys saying that they converted their stuff to that, and it kind of just makes sense to them, because I believe it's more common to see single mode fiber. Correct me on that. I'm not, and again, I don't know much about fiber. Before the pandemic, funny enough, I never played around with network. Now I have a home server with a switch, and I'm doing Dante network. I'm using a couple times a week a complete Dante system. Meaning I show up at my venue and I just connect network into network port. The TF1, Yamaha console in the rack is talking to my ULXD wireless all through network. So I've done many gigs now without a single XLR. That's where we're at. And funny enough, a friend of mine touring with a band, and he's using the Yamaha Rio as on stage drop stage box. So he has a 16.8, 3 station of 16.8 on stage, and he just run one cable from one box to one box to the console, and the last box go to the front of house, and everybody's using Dante. They don't use Subsnake anymore. They use Rio from Yamaha. The big show that you send me is the one that you did the broadcast for, right? 5 or 6 mile of fiber. Oh yeah, it's crazy. I did a show the other day talking about Charlie's home network. I did a show the other day, funny enough, last month. I was mixing at the Montreal Casino in the room there for a live stream, and there was a fiber link from the Montreal Casino. I believe it's 10 or 15 mile away from the headquarter, Lotto Quebec headquarter, who's in charge of everything that has to do with lottery here in Quebec. It's all government owned, so make sure it's safe and not rigged or anything. The studio where I'm gonna work tomorrow, actually, where I'm doing all my Twitch streaming from, or where I do all the stream for these guys, Twitch, whatever. You guys get the idea. We were remote controlling Blackmagic camera on a fiber network. Single fiber from the headquarter directly in the casino. On a private switch, we were spreading out 10 gig network into Blackmagic camera, one cable because it was a PoE switch powering up the camera to tally the everything camera from Blackmagic. I was sending signal to them, and the show was mixed or switched remotely 15 mile away. The guy was not even in the room. I was mixing in the room. If I were to, because I was doing the show in the casino for people there. We had about 1,000 people there. It's a gala. Basically, 1,000 people showed up to the gala, roughly. And I was doing that, but I could have just get myself a Dante network all the way to there, and I could have mixed the live stream 15 mile away on a Dante stream. It's crazy. Have you messed with the Dante Cloud stuff yet? No. I'm not there yet. I still need to finish my my Dante course. I'm still not up to speed. Crazy stuff we're in the Jesta. Pretty much. No, actually, I don't know where we are. We are in this world. Have you seen the new A10 Mini Extreme? Yes, I did. And I'm not going to buy one. For one reason. And you guys got to be probably agreeing with me. It's not Dante. They added a MADI input on it. What do you want me to do with MADI? I don't have anything MADI. All my stuff is Dante. My microphone, my consoles, I'm not gonna buy an external card for the wing. Even if it's gonna come out at some point, we all know that. I'm not gonna buy a card just for that. If they made that thing right away, right out of the box, Dante, I would have sold my A10 Extreme. Because I already have one, and I'm going to build a rig for it. This is why I'm taking those connector, because I want to do some panel prep. Actually, while we're having a discussion here, let me take a quick break. I'm going to grab all my stuff, and we're going to do some panel prep for my new video rig. This is what I wanted to do tonight. So give me 1 minute here. I'm gonna be right back. Talk to each other while I'm going. All right, we're back. Another type of screwdriver. We're gonna change the camera angle. It's gonna be more fun for you guys to look at in a second. But this is what we're gonna work on today. This is a 2U, I believe it's 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's a 24 XLR or connector patch panel, and we're gonna play around with it. We're gonna replace some connector on here. Basically what I want to do is I want to prep this panel for my ATEM, my ATEM Mini Extreme, where I have 7 HDMI port, where I'm gonna have 4 microphone input, because the ATEM doesn't have mic XLR input, but it does have line in, and actually you can do mic and do separate input. So you basically have 4 XLR option on it. If you have 4 microphone, independent microphone option on it. So I want to build that. I want to build that thing. And I also want to build some network port. I do have some of those around. Actually, I have a bag full of those. If you guys allow me to switch the camera here, we're going to show you what's going on with this thing. I have a bag of connector that I've, keep around for years. You need SDI or BNC. That's the screw for the rack. I have a bunch of those. I have power. We're gonna build a power connector. I'm gonna have PowerCon on that rack because I'm building a full rig with shelf and everything. I want this to be like a really clean altogether rack. So we're gonna build some power in there. We're gonna solder some AC stuff here. I'm gonna keep that for later. Oh, fiber. We were talking about fiber before. So I don't know how well you guys can see this, but there is 4 connection inside of a fiber port. Those are really expensive, and I had those in the lot for next to nothing, funny enough. What else we have here? Some male and female connector. Some more PowerCon. I know it's not TrueCon like the newer stuff is, but it's gonna be, for me, it's gonna be close enough for what I'm doing. Do we have more network in here? I probably have some more network somewhere else. A lot. I do have a lot of BNC connection. So yeah, basically we're gonna have some good time with that. And we're just gonna start to build from scratch. We gotta get some connector out of there and some new one in there. And everything's gonna end up in that pile. So eventually when I need something, it's gonna be there. So I have my 4 or 5 HDMI and USB. Okay, I know I don't have enough. I only have 4. Oh, okay. I thought I had more than that. We're gonna start with 4 for now because those are freaking expensive. HDMI pass-through from Nutric, we're talking about in the neighborhood of 25 bucks each. So if I have 10 that I need in the back of this thing, ka-ching. Okay. First thing we're gonna do is see what's going on with you guys. Yeah, Dente and NDI would have been the best. Sorry, I'm going back to the previous comment. Dente and NDI would have been the best option for me. because most of the venue that I work with are mostly in DI and Dante. That's just the way it is. It's not like I decided that I want something else. It's just like that's the venue. I don't have many choice. If I want to work there, I need to work with whatever they have. And if I want to get the right bit for screwdriver, I need to do with what they have, and I need to figure out which one it is. I think it's this one. Is it this one? Nope. It's been a while since I've played around with some. Is it Allen key? Yes, it is. Okay, that's the one. All right. I don't think Blackmagic supports NDI. I think they purposely don't because they have their standard. I have some note about the wing rack. They will need to fix the sound fader thing. Yes, I know, Nick. That information's been passed through. Blackmagic went with 2112 IP like PreSonus went with AVB. Also, it reverts to overview page instead of fader page when jumping between stuff. Bit annoying. Yeah, I know. It's not perfect. The wing is not perfect, but the good thing is they really are open about it. I think I can say this. Recently, someone on Facebook was really vocal about the gate not having enough of hold time versus the Behringer wing that not the Behringer, the X32 that has 2 seconds of hold time versus the wing only having 200 millisecond. And that comment has been heard, and I don't know for sure, but that comment has been heard. I don't think it's a big deal. It's just a matter of adding a 0 somewhere in the code, and I think we will see that go through. I cannot speak for anybody else, but I think that we will see that go through. So make that what you want. But I think the guys are really listening, if you want to have my opinion on that. Maybe you don't, but I think the guys are really listening. All right. 2112 is much favored in broadcast. My question is, again, and I think Rob answered me the other day, or Nick answered me the other day, but I think 2110 is compatible with AS67, so maybe we can get some Dante. Have they made a solution to convert MADI to Dante? Yes, but it's so expensive that the average Joe like me, not gonna happen. The devs are doing amazing. All right, thanks for doing that comment, Nick. I believe they listen to this channel from time to time and they like the good comments. So I need to thank you guys for that. Yeah, based on AS67. But can you convert that? Can you convert 2110 to Dante? That's gonna be my first question. All right, let's start working on that thing. Can I get your opinion, guys? Can you give me your opinion? What do you think? This is going to be the back panel of my ATEM. I'm thinking about getting 10 HDMI in the bottom for all the port in the back of the ATEM. 1 power and 1 network. Interchange those. 4 XLR female for my sound. I think I want to keep 2 more to convert these to XLR from the headphone output. I know it's not, playing by the rule, but I think this is where I'm gonna go anyway, because sometimes I do small, streaming with only an ATEM. I mix sound with the ATEM. You have more than enough to do, like EQ, compression, even a main EQ out if you really want to. But sometimes when I do those, it's just a single 1 or 2 speaker here and there, and I adjust the volume accordingly so it doesn't clip or anything, but I'm doing that. One's gonna be headphone out, and I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left. Does it make sense? What do you guys think? Should I do it in any other way? I don't know. Yes, it's called the multiverter. What are we talking about? I miss that reference. Sheriffs, nobody's talking about PreSonus anymore. Nope. Well, the only time that I'm talking about PreSonus is when people ask me, what do you think of PreSonus? And I go like, well, never really liked the first version anyway. They should listen to you because, man, we're used the board more than anyone. I know. All right, let me get those screws out of the way. We're gonna keep screwing around. This is what we're doing today. We're screwing around. Gonna get some really nice patch panel going. I like clean patch panel, because I don't know if I should talk about this, but I had a surprisingly rough experience on Monday. Okay, I guess I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna keep the name of the people, Gotta call that guy Bob. His real name is definitely not Bob. Bob is a guy that I welcome at my venue, and really nice guy. Seriously, really cool kid. Just started his own AV company. Makes sense. Everything that he's talking about is making sense. They really talked to me about how much how much the company is there as a design company, not really a gear company. The difference is they sell design to clients, not rent only gear. There's different kind of rental company out there. If you are, some people rent gear. Like, I'm more of I rent gear company. What I do for a living is I show up to your, you ask me what do I need to rent to do that kind of event, and I'm telling you, okay, you need a PA, you need microphone, you need snakes, you need that stuff, and I ask them, what's your budget for lighting? They do whatever budget we have left for lighting, and I ask my light guy to do the best he can with whatever budget the client has left. Simple, I rent gear, I make show happen. I don't do design, or I don't sell much design. I can, if you ask me, I can design you some really cool, neon lights everywhere, or whatever design, architectural design in a venue. I can design you that. So the kid is more into design than renting gear, and they probably took too many gigs. It's a brand new AV company. They had 3 shows on that day, and they show up with a bunch of sub-rental stuff from here and there. The guys came in my venue at noon. We were supposed to be done by 8 at 9, according to schedule. They had a hard time dealing with network. You know, they had a hard chaos. They had RKOS software running, the video on some, you know, LED tubes, which is the design that they basically made. LED tubes everywhere. And the guys, a little younger than me, the guys were having the best intention in mind. But the troubleshooting parts, because they were tired, because they had so many events, it was not all their gear. The troubleshooting part was a nightmare. They start to troubleshoot around 6-7 p.m. Not getting the RKOS rig, rebooting that, getting the RKOS rig, not getting the video stream because they had PTZ camera, you know, power over Ethernet PTZ camera on stand. They had 4 of those. They had a bunch of stuff. Everything was not working. I tried to grab sound from these guys over Dante, which was a mistake because it created more network problem and DMX problem, and the PTZ were responding and the switch were maybe not powerful enough. We basically struggle our lives try to get that stuff working, especially for the camera stuff. It was not talking, and the guys at 11 look at me and I was like, dude, we have to come back in the room at 6 tomorrow morning for the show. Can we be done right the half now? Like, I want to go home, I want to sleep. I'm already at 11 at night. I was waking up 6 hours from there. So I was like, I want to get my 6 hours of sleep, or 5. I want to go home. I don't care about you guys. We were supposed to be done by 9, go to bed and call it a day, and now it's 11 and we still don't have a show. Usually I don't do that. I never ever do that, but I left the guys in the room. I left at 11 at night. Say, guys, just close the lights. I'll see you at 6 in the morning. It's already too early, if you ask me. See you guys at 6 in the morning, and I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna be tired. You know, I'm a grumpy old sound guy. I'm gonna be pissed. So the guys left to go to sleep at 4. They somehow had half of the kit working. Screw everything that is Dante. It was out the door. Everything that was Dante end up on a 1/8 connection on, you know, I'll give you a 1/8 connection on your laptop and a DI and call it a day. Like, they didn't have time to make anything else happen. It was not happening. Whatever they were trying to do, it was not happening. They could not at first have forced me to stay there anymore because I was freaking tired. I know it was going anywhere anyway. And it was like a mess of wire everywhere. And that made me realize that my video kit is not looking good enough for me. I have an A10 Mini that I custom built in a old mic case that is, you know, a good DIY solution. When you flip the screen out of that thing, you know, it's the case. It's an old toolkit case. You put it on the table, you flip it open, the screen open, and you take a lid. I cut basically a part in the back of the case, and I basically made it work as a small carrying case for the ATEM, which is fine. You know, it does a job. But after seeing the shit show that these guys did, and it's probably not their fault, to be honest. They were under pressure, under sleep, and everything. And I'm gonna give the guys some loose, but because of that, it inspired me to go like, okay, you know what? I need to get my stuff together. So I found a really cool road case, and I'm gonna rebuild my whole ATEM rig, so it doesn't look like an old beat up case that I cut part of it to make it work. It's gonna look like a really cool road case that it was built for that. And I think the way it's gonna look, it's gonna be the selling point. And I care about, you know, those selling point. I want to make sure that it looks amazing, and I'm gonna do whatever I can to make it happen. So with that in mind, I'm just gonna purchase some stuff. I'm gonna purchase some, you know, rack gear. I'm gonna purchase some connectors, and my solution will be good looking. I basically bought a case that is a 12 rack U that is about 7-inch deep when you take the lids off. So it's basically a rack mount railing next to each other. And I'm gonna have a rack mount screen in there. I'm gonna have that panel. I have a custom made shelf that's gonna extend so I can have the ATEM in the back. It's gonna be all plugged in all the time. I wanna have one power connection. I'm gonna have a little Furman. Actually, it's not a Furman, but I have basically a rack mount power bar. It's all gonna be plugged in. All you will have to do is take the lid off. You will have the power cable, power conduit. Everything's gonna be there. Power and everything. And you're gonna have that back panel with all your XLR labeled, network, everything's gonna be labeled. And I think it's gonna be awesome. Can't be wrong. But having everything in one package that is just good looking is the kind of stuff that matters to me now. So, I don't know, man. I just want to make that happen. I believe that good looking gear, it's not so impressive for client, but for people that see you showing up with that gear, I think it does make a difference. And yeah, to me it matters. So basically, after looking at these guys, not crashing a show, but having a hard time, it made me realize that I should get my stuff together and I should up my game, because I think I don't want something like that to happen to me. I just want to get, you know, the best I could, the best gear I can to look good in front of client. And so far, that's how I've been making a living. People are happy with what I show up with. They do see a difference. I'm getting comment from people that, you know, I'm not looking like crap. My stuff is looking good, and it matters to me. That boring section of the stream was brought to you by me. But yeah, I just care about that stuff. We can keep talking about Dante if you guys want to. I don't have to be boring again, because we've been going on for hours. I don't know how long we've been doing this, but we're having a good time. I'm having a good time building some stuff with you guys. This one I need a Phillips screwdriver. For some reason, I don't know why my network ports are not using Allen wrench like my little XLR does. So we're gonna have to do this. Thank you very much, Sheriff. Let's be honest, as a streamer, it's really hard to know when people are listening and not commenting anything versus being boring as hell. So thanks for the confirmation that I don't suck that bad. Thank you. Okay, all right. Now I want your opinion. What do I do? Does it make sense? Hold on, let me read Nick. I had a situation on a gig where we set up a pretty big Dante network between 5 different console and 5 different era. The engineer decided to run some control data over the network. No! Bring the Dante network. No! No! Yeah, if you created him a VLAN, or the worst thing that can happen is like somebody somehow out of nowhere decide to just like fire up a DHCP server. For those of you who don't know, it's a bad thing because usually Dante do not need to have a DHCP server. When everything default to like default network, it just works fine. You just assign everything and you don't need to have something giving out IP address to everything. So people just deploying a DHCP server on your stuff and everything just change the IP sometimes can be problematic. Okay, I need to keep 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I need to take that one out. This one is not the right bit. That's the right one. All right. If you guys don't have that iFixit screwdriver kit, man, this is good. This is a real good screwdriver kit to have. Not sponsored, by the way. I wish that one day I could be sponsored by iFixit. Actually, those video would be perfect for iFixit, because I actually fixed 2 speakers that were not firing up, and I'm pretty sure one fuse later, one cleanup and one fuse later, I'm gonna have another box. And I have a bunch of connector. Anybody need some female XLR Nutric connector? I'm gonna have a couple of those to spare. I don't think I will use them all. Not right now. You never know. Funny enough, I was talking with someone the other day and saying, I should get rid of some stuff that I don't use, and like looking at patch panel and stuff like that I've sometimes sold, bought again for another project, sold the extra and bought again for another project. You always end up, when you're a DIYer like I am, in a situation where you go like, oh, okay, I'm gonna need 10 XLR chassis female XLR. Like, oops, need that. It's gonna look good, like I'm doing an inner rack. Okay, good. I'm gonna need like 8 female XLR. So yeah, to go back on that story, if you sub-rent stuff, make sure that it's working and make sure it's compatible with other stuff that you sub-rent to other people. And I would say the best skill any techie guys could have out there, and that's good for Charlie too, even if you play guitars. Learn. Actually, it's good for anybody in this business. Musician, techie, anybody. Learn to troubleshoot, and learn to troubleshoot fast, and learn to troubleshoot in a manner that makes sense. Because I was looking at the guy, and I don't know everything in the backstory, but if something doesn't work, and you remove the cable, try another one, and it's not fixing the problem, validate that that cable is good before like sending out another cable. And because it's still not working, sending out another cable and changing IP address and like, dude, like, you're just throwing stuff to the wall and see what sticks. It's, dude, throwing stuff to the wall and see what sticks is not a way to troubleshoot. Know why? Trying to know why it's not working. React quick, and when something is not working, just okay, go. Okay, that's not working. Why? Why do I don't see? Why is my Dante network down? Like exactly what you're saying right now, Nick. Dante is pretty resilient. When my first wing went out, I reloaded the config in Dante controller and the snapshot in my second wing, and most of it worked. I just lost my multicast flow. That's a really good indication. So if you lost your multicast flow, something happened. It didn't just like magically disappear. Something happened. What? That's going to be the question. What happened? Why? Why is it not? Why did the network crash first? Because it doesn't happen a lot, to be honest. Dante network is rock solid. Well, as long as you have connection, you don't need any fancy switch or anything like some people pretend. Like, oh, you need to have that switch, otherwise it's not gonna work. No. Dante worked pretty much on anything. Actually, I have a dumb switch that I paid $5, and it's working real good. Nothing to complain about. So, as long as your switch is on and you have communication, and even if you don't have communication with your switch, you just go like from one device to another, just daisy chain everything, it's just gonna work. Multicast issue usually relate on IGMP snooping. I tested something on my network, moving the network back to my Unify router from layer 3 switch. The DHCP server didn't work, and all of the Dante went self-assigned. And everything worked, yes. Dante preferred to have stuff self-assigned, basically. Except the multicast flow. Okay. Multicast will flood the port with data, yes. Move back to, yeah. It's, you need to understand what's happening there, basically. But after that, I mean, Dante is really, really well made. You don't need to fuck around too much with it. Can I say that? Can I say that on the stream? We'll see if I get demonetized for that. But you know, Dante is made for pretty much plug and play. You plug two devices together, you fire up Dante controller, and stop screwing around with it. Got a QS, quality of service priority configuration. It's another thing, yeah. Yeah, all that stuff. Hold on, I just want to make sure that I'm getting this right. I think I need to build on that rack because of the shelf before I do any of that. You have to understand some IT networking stuff. Yes, that's, well, we have a saying here, mostly in French. You know, when when somebody just wing it, you go like, oh yeah, my brother-in-law used to do that for a living. He's gonna build you that IT rack stuff. Just ask my brother-in-law. Demande à mon beau-frère, hein? Mon beau-frère connaît ça. Yeah. My brother-in-law know that stuff. He's gonna build you that. The funniest story ever I heard when showing up back in the day on old like JBL PA. Oh yeah, don't worry about it. My brother-in-law built it. It's using JBL speaker. You're gonna have fun with that thing. Yeah, sure, your brother-in-law. As long as you don't brother-in-law too much, that stuff. Follow your Dante course. I'm okay with Dante. I'm not fully fluent Dante. I know how to use the basic of it. I know how to do a multicast. I know how to do a unicast stuff. But I don't feel comfortable enough to give out Dante course. Like, people ask me about Dante. I know my way around it. If you want me to wing something up, I can get a Dante network going and, we're going to have a show. Don't worry about it. I'm going to reset some stuff. I'm going to remove your DHCP server, and we'll be good to go. But Dante, it's network. It's the line. It's separate the line between... Yeah, I can plug an XLR in the back of the console, channel 1. I know what a gain knob is, so I'm going to give it some gain, and I'm going to raise a fader. And techie. Nowadays, you have to be a techie to fully utilize stuff. I'm looking at the wing compact on the floor right there. Yes, my compact is on the floor there. I'm looking at the compact there, and the first days of the wing, it was not that simple. To just like plug a connector in the back, firing it up, it would work. Nowadays, they changed the software enough. Now that we have the compact with 24 channel, you can give that to somebody. He can gain channel 1, and it's gonna work. That's all I'm gonna say about it. If you want to dive into Dante stuff, and the thing that pisses me off the worst is the people that want to go Dante, but they don't know why they want to go Dante. Like, I want to go Dante because it's going to allow me to expand. Like, okay, sure. What do you need to expand to? Do you have a PA that is Dante? Do you want to connect that in over Dante? Or no, but if I want to, I could. Yeah, okay, sure. Do you run a network like at your studio where you're gonna have multiple room and multiple stage box? No, but if I ever want to, I could. Like, why are you getting in there? Do you just purchase something? Do you dive into technology just to dive into it? It's not gonna make you sound any better, like, at all. And that's the thing that probably keeps me the most disappointed by a lot of people. They try to dive into some stuff and they just don't know why. They want to, they don't want to use the Dante port in the back of the console. Not the Dante, the USB port in the back of the console because Dante is probably better, right? No, it's the same thing. The result will be the same. And anybody who understands how conversion is working from the preamp to digital, as soon as it's digital, 48K 16-bit signal, yep, it's the same, man. It's the same signal. No matter what kind of transmission you're using, it's gonna work. Hold on. Basically, the big no-nos for Dante is any switch that has efficiency internet. Big no-no. Yeah, disabled that. You don't want a smart switch. You want the dumbest switch that you can get. It's gonna work. Of course, you're not gonna have, snooping and stuff like that, but yeah, it's just gonna work. Just connect everything together, and if you need more bandwidth, or if you're having a bandwidth issue, playing around with unicast, multicast, you should be good to go. You don't need... People are overthinking those stuff. People are overthinking those things. You don't need to do that, man. Basic networking stuff is required when using a computer with multiple NIC and using Dante. Boofa, efficient. Oh, come on, efficient energy internet. Come on. I work with this keyboard player that has crazy Dante rig. It takes like 16 channel from him. Nice. Single Dante line, talkback, click, track, stereo keyboards, stereo keys, drum crazy. Sure. I mean, if you know how to do stuff with it, like I've been running Backtrack Dante before. I've mostly run it over AS50, but there is a reason for that. And when you have someone that know what they want to do and they have a reason for that, they have a purpose to do Dante, but sure, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, you just go a single RJ45 between you and the console and it just worked. That's also the reason why I love my ULX microphone. Next year, I'm gonna do my first gig fully Dante, no mixer, because this is a cheerleading show that I'm doing like twice a year. I'm having only one mic and I'm playing back everything from my computer. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna connect one mic over Dante in my computer, and I'm gonna output that in the LA 108 or 112, depending on whatever I'm gonna use. And I'm just gonna run basically my computer into the microphone. I'm gonna grab that stuff, gonna mix it into Logic. I'm just gonna fire up an EQ and compressor, bring that back out to the PA, just patching together into Dante, and I'm gonna have a single cable in between all my devices. It's gonna work. It's gonna work just fine. All right. Let's get this done. I don't want to spend, well, I would love to spend another hour with you guys, but I'm probably gonna need to sleep at some point. That would be me. Okay, what do you think we should do? I need your help, guys. That's gonna be the top to protect my cable, protect my investment of my ATEM. That's gonna be the top. I think I'm gonna go headphone out here, and I think I'm gonna go hold on, let me get that right. And I'm gonna go to female XLR. I'm gonna rebuild that again. And after that, what should I put? Should I go? I have a USB port. I have a power that I think I want in the bottom more than I want at the top. And what else should I have? Network at the top? Or should I go network at the bottom? Should I go network in between my two output? Should I have a USB-C next to that? Because I don't think I have a USB-C now, but I can purchase one. What do you think? I want this to look good. I want this to look good for somebody who never connected a rig before. What do you think, guys? Like, why am I having such a hard time screwing one little screw here? Is it the wrong one? I think I grabbed the wrong one that was giving me trouble before. Why is it? Well, don't want to get in here. Yep. Okay, that's the wrong one. What do you think? What should we do? I'm open to suggestion. Help me build my rack. How would you build your dream rack? There we go. Keep all network together. Keep all audio together. Okay. But like, see on this one, what I'm doing is I'm gonna have my 4 input for my 4 mic, headphone, and it's gonna be split to 2 XLR. So I could have gone 2 female here, but I want to make sure that I don't maybe mistake that. I'm gonna go with the 2 female here. It's those small things, you know. It's at the end of the day, it's not gonna change much. It could be anything at the end of the day. It will still work, but I just think it's gonna look better if I'm doing it right. I don't know how to say it. I like clean patch panel. I like clean stuff. It took me a while to, you know, get to that point, but when I started to grasp on that, and thanks to my friend Simon, who's probably never gonna look at these live stream anyway. My friend Simon, who's an artist that I've been touring with for the last 15 years, accepted me as a little trash kid that I was, and helped me grow into a clean, structured adult. Is it wrong to say it that way? I don't know, but working with him on his show, accepting me with whatever, like, background and all that stuff that I had, for some reason helped me grow into a clean, well, or better put together adult. So that slowly grew on me. And I don't know. Now I like stuff that is clean. I like that the headphone breaking up. Yep, me too. Let's go with that. Keep whatever you need more accessible on top. Yeah, but because I have so many HDMI at the bottom, or I have so many HDMI port, I think I'm going to have them all. You know, I want to have all my HDMI at the bottom in order of, like, the order that they are on the rack, on the unit itself. Like the first camera, and after that the output. And there is some USB-C on the ATEM, but I don't think I will output the USB-C. I don't think I have a reason to output the USB-C on here. But I think, yeah, 2 female or 2 male for output. Hold on, I need to think back for a second. Am I doing this the right way? The back of the console is male. Oh, sometimes I still have to think about that. That on the back of the console is an output, right? It's, man. I have a power amp there. Yes, it's an output. All right. When I'm tired like that, because I had a really rough week. After that gig that I was talking about, where we started on Monday at noon, from Monday at noon until we were done on Tuesday, I clocked in 25 hour. That's a lot of hour in 48 hour. That's a lot of hour of work in 48 hour. Some people will say, oh, it's illegal to do that. Well, even if we have great work law in Canada, because I'm a freelance audio engineer, I can work the amount of hours that I want. I can work 24-hour a day. It's up to my call. It's my company. I do whatever I want. That's not dealt by the government. If you are a worker, yes, you definitely cannot do that. You need to have, minimum hour before shift. You cannot do like the crazy amount of time that I've slept 4 hour in between loading and shows, and you cannot do that. But because it's my company, because it's because it's the way that the things are when you are a live sound engineer, you don't sleep much. And I know for a fact that Nick here in the chat is working a lot. You just have to show at the time that you need to show, and you need the time that you need to get the show done, and it's all that really matters. But all that to say, I'm pretty tired. I clocked in about 70 hours this week because I had show every week, and I'm still working tomorrow. It's only gonna be a small shift, a small recording session in the studio for a podcast or something like that. It's not gonna be like, I'm not streaming on Twitch for 4 hours like we used to. I'm just slowing down, showing up. It's gonna be a probably corporate executive recording podcast, whatever, and after that I'm gonna go home. I show up at 3 tomorrow, and I'm probably gonna be home by 9, so should not be that long. But yeah, it's the life of a sound engineer. Keeping busy, thankfully, being efficient is everything. Yeah. That's the thing. I tried to say that to a lot of people. Being efficient. I am really efficient. I do really quick sound check, especially on corporate gigs. Like most of the time, I do sound check that are less than 1 minute for speakers. Like when I'm doing headsets, when I'm doing podium mic, I just know my stuff. I've worked enough with Beta 53 headset microphone and Shure ULXD to kind of know where I need to set my gain for that stuff. And I don't need to adjust much. And I kind of know the EQ curve of those mic, and I kind of know where I'm going to need it for a female, like where the S is going to be for a female, and how I should make the bottom go out. What is it at the bottom end for a male performer? I kind of know all that stuff. Like, I just firing up the mic. Okay, it sounds where I want it to sound. Call it a day. I've done it so many times with so much of the same stuff. So many times I've EQ'd a 58 that I kind of know what bugs me on a 58 and what usually fits most people and what doesn't. Then I don't need to spend 5 hours on that. I just set up my gain correctly according to the speaker, and I'm good to go. I had 2 shows this week, provided gear and mixed 2 of them, corporate gig with event band, with band 2, yeah. If you do the pre-production, make 100% set, yeah. I do all my setup, in the market that I am. I could not request to have people setting up for me, so I do all my setup myself. I'm working mostly at the same venue or mostly with the same band all the time. So if I show up somewhere with my band when doing in-ear monitors, I just go, well, the band that I'm doing the most, we have in-ear monitors. We have only one guy that is on 2 monitors, K12.2. I know those monitor inside out. I just do a quick sound check myself, and I know where the singer want to be. I just EQ the room. I re-EQ the drum because it's the only kind of thing that has mic on it anymore. All my guitars are direct DI, or one of my guitar player still has amp and cab, but it's never really loud. And the guy is a sound engineer, so his tone never change. I let him do his thing. He's managing his gain by himself. Like he's looking at his amp with his iPad, and he's placing the amp, the volume of the amp back at the same spot every time, every gig. He knows his gain level. Same for his microphone. If his mic is not working, he's gonna tell me, or he's gonna ask the local crew to, like, hey man, I think there's something wrong with that cable. My mic is not working, or we're running hotshot, radial hotshot for talkback and stuff like that. He knows all this stuff. He knows his stuff. He could basically do the gig. If I were to be totally sick, he could do the gig. So that's my, show up, I EQ the drum type of deal, and I'm good to go. But I can do a sound check. Actually, I could do the band without the band. I could do a sound check for the band without the band, because I know how my drummer is hitting. I know how loud that stage is gonna be. I know how my singer wants his vocal to sound in his monitor. If it's too bright for me, it's usually good for him. Old timer. If it's just like to the point I go, yeah, it's a bit harsh. You go like, yeah, it sounds amazing. It's nice to have definition, and I'm gonna go like, oh man, you're totally deaf. Anyway, it's another story for another time. But yeah, working with the same band, the same gear all the time, it's, yeah. Like my friend Vince, that you guys probably saw in some of my vlog a long time ago. My friend Vince is a guitar player, and I've worked with him so much because we're working together on many different projects. I work with his own original band. He's a session player for a lot of people that we kind of go around with. We work so much together that when you show up on a gig, I go, what amp do you have? What guitar did you bring today? Okay. If he show up with his Gibson acoustic, his J45, and we have a radial DI, a JDI, or the passive one, it's not the same EQ, it doesn't react the same, but if he has a JDI and his Gibson, I know that I need to cut around 3 to 6 dB at 220 because it's going to feed back there, and I need to roll it off at 87, and I know that I need to gain it at 30 on an X32 for that to work, and I know how much I need to send in his monitor right away. Usually I like to have him doing sound check where he just plug in, he's doing one chord, and he goes like, that's it. Working with the same band all the time is the key. You're getting used to it, basically. All right. Do I want to take a break and finish that tomorrow? I think I'm going to do that. What time is it? It's 11. It's 11 something, right? It's 11. Okay, I think we did a fair, a long enough show for today. Part 2 to be streamed probably tomorrow. I'm probably going to wake up, have a coffee, and finish up that rack. Finish up how much I'm going to need to spend on HDMI port to make that thing work. It's going to cost me. Thank you very much, Charlie, for being here the whole time with me. Really appreciate it. Everything else that watching this in replay, thank you very much for spending time. See you guys around. Thank you, Nick, for being part of the stream, man. It's always fun to have a conversation with you, man. You're always fun to talk to. If I were to tour with a guy, if I were to tour with you, I know I would have a good time for sure. Anyway, on that note, guys, I'm gonna go to bed. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. Thanks, Nick. See you guys probably tomorrow. See you.